And my experience has been we always start with the beginning of the alphabet. So what will Joanne do? She's going to start at the end of the alphabet. So the first, reminding that you have 4 minutes. And Mr. Williams, if you'll go first, please, for 4 minutes.
Sure. Well, Joanne, thank you for moderating. I want to thank the Arizona PTA for sponsoring today's debate, Michelle Steinberg for her organizing efforts with this, my colleagues for being here today for the debate, and all of you in attendance. You know, as the first in my family to graduate from college, a former teacher in a tough inner-city public school, the former executive director of Teach for America, taking the program from last to first place in the entire country in student achievement, and the 2006 Democratic nominee for Superintendent of Public Instruction, I know without a doubt from my life work and experiences that not a single one of our children has to fail. It's whether we fail them. And I talked very aggressively about this when I was running the last time. I think sadly it's even more necessary today as we witness some of the largest cuts to public education in the history of the state of Arizona. You know, and I don't think of Arizona as a below-average place, but the reality is when it comes to educating our children, the facts speak for themselves. And I want to share as a former math teacher just a few statistics that I find quite troubling for our children today. The first is 7 out of 10. 7 out of every 10 of our children by the 4th grade are unable to read at grade level. 1 in 3 of every one of our students is not getting a high school diploma right now. 51st is the number that we are now ranked in terms of per pupil funding for public education. And in response to this, those in charge have not only given us 4 more years of the same, they've managed to make it even worse. At a time when they've now had 16 years of control of education policy and direction in our state, that's an entire generation of children now that have gone through our school system. You know, I believe that it's time for us to break free from this status quo cycle that would have us be okay with those results for our children. We should be always striving to be innovative, creative, to not be afraid to think outside the box, to give us our children access to that excellent public education that they rightfully deserve no matter where they live in the state of Arizona. We especially need to focus on making sure that the Superintendent of Public Instruction creates meaningful and significant relationships between our parents and our community, because again, the facts speak for themselves. Children are only in school for 20% of the time, but they're at home 80% of the time. So what are we going to do together to make sure that we create meaningful, significant parental involvement in our schools, make our parents and community members feel welcome, to make sure that they are being part of the academic team at all times for our children? In that role, I've worked very hard to take my responsibility seriously, that those of us that don't have children in the school system are actively mentoring our children whenever we can, and I proudly do mentor a student through the Arizona Quest for Kids program. I've also worked very hard as the Executive Director of Teach for America to make sure that a critical part of the curriculum for training our teachers revolves around how to effectively create a positive relationship between our parents and our teachers, and I intend to work very closely with the colleges of education to make sure that that is actually happening as part of teacher preparation and training moving forward. And lastly, I still currently serve proudly as a teacher and faculty member with the Parent Liaison Academy that Laddie Corr started with the Beat the Odds Institute, where I proactively train parent program coordinators anywhere from 30 to 50 schools a year to redefine what parental involvement looks like, so that, again, parents are not only welcomed into school, but they are treated as integral parts of the academic team to produce success for our children. So I want to thank you so much again for the opportunity to be here. I'm looking forward to the discussion and the questions. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next candidate is Dr. Beth Price.
I am so happy. Can everyone hear me? Okay, good. I am so blessed to be here at this going together of all of these wonderful people that love children. I can see it on your faces, and I have it in my heart that I love children, and so do you. It makes me very sad when I hear our schools are not teaching children like they should. I have worked, well, I've gotten my PhD at the University of Texas in Austin in the Community College Leadership Program in education, educational administration specifically. So my training is very, very good, and I have worked in mostly community colleges doing educational research. Now you ask, what's educational research? Well, educational researchers get all of the statistics that my person here just spouted out. And when you're working on those statistics and you see how far down we are, it makes your heart very low. And even though I'm retired, I am still working on assessments with other states so that I know what other states are assessing and what our competition is. How can we bring up those scores? We've done everything for 10 years. I saw dropout rates not change. And finally, I went to work. I went away from the community college, and I had worked with the community colleges so that we have the best community college system in all of the United States. And now I want to work on K through 12 to bring all of those grades up. As I did the statistics, I found generally our students are 2 years behind. How do you change that? Well, I'm going to discuss that today because I know that with all of us working as teamwork, we can bring parents and students and teachers and staff together. We have a great country and we have a great state, and we can do it. And that really is my platform. I want us to go to #1 in 4 years. Impossible? I don't think so. We have a good state. The K through 12 has been working very hard on bringing up the curriculum standards, and now we need to move them forward so that our students are ahead of other students. Thank you.
Thank you.